You're listening to a Comics XF podcast.
Vengeance. I am the knight. I am
Matt Lazowitz, and welcome to this week's episode of BatChat with Matt and Will, a Batman ranking podcast, where each week my co-host Will Nevin and I dig into 3 Batman stories, discuss them, and rank them on the big board, thus creating a giant list of Batman stories from best to worst. Will, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good, Matt. We had the joy of a good hearty laugh off air. That was delightful. It's been a fair minute since I had a good laugh like that, so that was good. We'll leave all the listeners to wonder what that was about. Get right into the thick of it this week. I have not been out to the movies in a bit. I think Running Man's gonna break that streak. But I have watched a new movie to me, Inside, starring the magnificent Willem Dafoe. Did you catch that one?
I did not.
Ooh, I want to say this was 23, but let me double check.
Oh, this is where he's trapped in an apartment, right? He's a thief trapped in an apartment?
Exactly.
I
That was
remember
23. Yeah.
it was one that I saw the trailers for, was like, oh, I'll go and see this. And it was in and out of the theater so quick that I missed it.
Yeah. There's some usage of computer monitors and whatnot, but in terms of the physical space, Willem Dafoe is the only actor on screen. It is like Castaway, but crazier. It's a real good time.
Okay. I will definitely have to check that out. It was always sort of on my radar, and it's such a generic title that I couldn't connect it, but it's like, oh yeah, I remember the trailers for it. Since we're talking about Defoe, have you ever seen The Lighthouse?
I have not.
Oh,
But
that's
also that looked good.
that is him and Pattinson, and that is just so fucking weird. It's great. Eggers has never, the director, Robert Eggers, he's never quite reached that stratosphere of weird after that. I saw that and it was like, okay, this guy, everything he's going to do is going to be. I detest when anybody describes anything as Lynchian, because nothing is like David Lynch except David Lynch.
Oh yeah. This movie's just like Eraserhead.
But I thought that everything Eggers would do was going to be in that school of expressionistic and surreal. And both The Northman and Nosferatu, while not bad, weren't as absolutely mind-fucky as The Lighthouse was.
Willem Dafoe seems born to play mindfucky.
Oh, yes. In the immortal words of Troy McClure, that's the part I was born to play, baby.
I think my favorite part about Inside was, so it's like this, as you said, the art thief breaking into, a very fancy high-tech apartment, with a security system that, I suppose both functions and malfunctions, in terms of, the apartment is locked down, the HVAC goes wild, but you see like all of these just traps that he's about to fall into. Like there's a pool, but it's a saltwater pool, so you can't drink that. There is some food in the fridge, but it's all moldy. And just watching him have to deal with all of these disasters is great. And then of course, his mind falling to pieces.
That does sound good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with the foe and then transition into something else.
Okay.
Because one of the few Scorseses that I haven't seen is Last Temptation of Christ. And Willem Dafoe as Jesus, I need to see this movie. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere.
It's on Criterion, so it should be
Okay.
pretty available. Yeah, that was one of the pandemic era. Oh, let me give this a shot. I don't remember anything from it, but I was like, oh, this is a very interesting movie, and yeah, I can see how people of the time went fucking nuts because of it.
And that transitions into a movie coming out this week.
Oh,
Have you seen a trailer for The Carpenter's Son?
No, but I'm going to quickly Google this and not watch the trailer, but at least discover for myself what it is.
Okay, I will tell you because it looks to be a horror movie around the idea of young Jesus.
We got Nicolas Cage, so
As
already it's a good start.
he's Joseph.
Rotten Tomatoes score of 39, also a good start.
Yes. I saw the trailer for it last weekend and I'm like, how have I not seen anything about this before? When is it coming out? Next week? I am sold. This thing looks out of its mind. Young Jesus encounters a girl who is Satan in disguise, who is tempting him, and Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Caging it all over the screen as Joseph. I watched it like this thing doesn't look good, but this thing looks exactly like what you'd expect a movie where Nicolas Cage plays the father of Jesus Christ.
Does Nicolas Cage's agent hate him? Is that how all of this happens?
I have this feeling like Nicolas Cage doesn't have an agent. He just picks random scripts that appeal to him after he reads the first two pages and he just runs with it. Because there is no actor with a more batshit filmography than Nicolas Cage who also has an Oscar.
Yeah, because he'll do like a blockbuster and then he'll do a B movie and then he'll do something that is somehow below straight to DVD. Like it's fucking all over the place.
And it's not like he's Robert De Niro, who, about 15 years ago decided, I'm going to do one good movie every 3 years. And other than that, I'm just going to do whatever pays me the most fucking money.
I'm here to make money.
Every now and then, he does a new movie with Scorsese or one of the ones with, what's his face? Silver Linings Playbook. Russell, David O. Russell. But other than that, it's, yeah, I'm going to do Dirty Grandpa. Dirty
God.
Grandpa 2 through 7. I think there's only one, but you know.
I'll do a Fockers movie.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's Robert De Niro. The man is one of the great actors of our generation, of that generation, not our generation. He can, at this point, do whatever he wants, and people will still remember him for Raging Bull and Taxi Driver and Goodfellas. But none of it is insane as a Nicolas Cage role.
Yeah.
In it, Running Man this week, Carpenter's Son, and the new Osgood Perkins, Keeper.
I wonder if Carpenter's Son is playing here.
I know it is playing at my AMC here, but my AMC,
You have like 50 screens.
yeah. Now I'm gonna do Keeper on Friday, Carpenter's Son probably Saturday night, and Running Man on IMAX on Sunday.
Nice.
That is my goal. But I only have one reservation currently because I've got advanced reservations for stuff for the next few weeks. So I've just got to see a movie, book the next one, see a movie, book the next one until after Thanksgiving when I have movies booked for the week leading up to Thanksgiving because those are going to fill up because people are going to want to go and see things. But I'm getting the best seats because I can.
Yes. We do have a Carpenter's Son Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
Excellent. Go and see it on the Lord's Day.
Oh no. No.
Oh no.
There's a follow-up to Sound of Freedom,
Oh no.
Hidden War. I have a friend here locally, and I'm afraid she's wrapped up in bullshit because she was talking about something, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, we talked to our kid, tell him like about all this stuff, and Sound of Freedom," and it's like, "Whoa, that's not a documentary. It's not real life made by bad people."
No, there's plenty of things we need to tell our kids. Don't talk to strangers. Don't go in a van. Don't. There's plenty of things like that. But Sound of Freedom is not a text upon which to train our children on how to avoid traffickers.
No, I kind of hope that Nuremberg and Die My Love are gonna hang around until Thanksgiving.
Die My Love. I saw that last weekend. That's again. I will not call it Lynchian, but it is in that school of expressionistic, surreal. Time isn't necessarily linear. You're seeing things from characters' perspectives, sort of things. Jennifer Lawrence and Pattinson are both incredible.
Very good.
unsurprisingly. Yeah, that I saw that and I saw Predator last week. Predator Badlands, a lot of fun, real cool, great effects, looked great. I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, and I'm not deeply invested in the Predator mythos, but I've enjoyed everything they've done with the Predator concept in recent years.
Got to keep the Predator fresh and moving because the Predator is a Disney princess.
Does that make the alien queen another wicked queen? Does she hang out with Maleficent and the evil queen from Snow White?
I bet we can find that on AO3.
Yeah, I have little doubt.
The alien queen like impregnating Gaston.
No, the alien queen and Cruella de Vil painting the town red, literally in the alien, actually in both of their cases.
I love it. What comes out next week, Matt?
Oh, oh, I wonder.
Hmm.
Is it the movie that you've been waiting for on bated breath for
Season
months?
2, Road to Revenge.
Yes.
Oh my God. I think I'm going to be out of town, but there's nothing that says I have to be busy at the retreat at night.
I'm wondering if that is going to be playing on the large format because it's coming out the same weekend as Wicked. It's supposed to be playing in large format, but
That's what the trailer says, right? But locally and in Birmingham, where I'm headed to that weekend, not on IMAX.
I'm gonna have to check. I bet there's like a 10:30 at night showing because it's gonna be Wicked on IMAX all day, and they might drop one in late at night.
That's good kind of programming.
Oh, it is.
Like I ain't going to fucking see Wicked. Let me go see that.
Yeah. They are two very discrete audiences. You're gonna get, what, three people who are gonna go and see both, but that's because I see everything. I love it. I will see everything. Wicked is what I'm gonna see on Thanksgiving. When Amber's at work, it's like, well, I got nothing else to do. Let me go and see Wicked first thing in the morning.
Amber's got to work on Thanksgiving.
24 hours, 7 days a week. It's a rescue mission.
It doesn't make sense.
So the administrative offices are open all year. So she's the newest hire, so she's got to be covering the admin offices during the day that day.
Take out turkey it is.
Yeah, well, I think she'll be able to bring home food because they provide food for the staff who are going to be working.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, we'll get some food that way. But I'm gonna go and see two movies during the day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and by the time I'm done with the movies, Amber will be home.
There you go.
Works out very, very nicely. And all of you will be listening to this episode
I knew it.
as
I knew it.
I am sitting and seeing Wicked and Zootopia, probably. I'm going to do family movies because this week, as this episode is dropping on Thanksgiving, it is our annual all ages Thanksgiving episode. So you're going to listen to us talk about some stories featuring Batman for the whole family.
The whole family. And I'm going to swear much less. You
Yeah,
fuckers.
I think talking about some of those weird movies. Those were not movies for the whole family.
Take the kids to see Sisu. They need to be taught to hate Russians from a very early age.
And if you can't get out to the movies, that's what Rocky 4 is for.
Isn't that actually being re-released?
Yes, it is. That is, it's an anniversary, I believe, for Rocky
The
4.
director's cut.
Yes. Our first story of the night, in a family-friendly night, is Wayne Family Adventures Volume 3. This is the Wayne Family Adventures Webtoon strips numbers 52 to 71. The writer is CRC Payne, with inks by Starbite and Toby Fan, storyboards by Gionia Acuna, Rachel Koo, and Maria Lee, backgrounds by Susie Blake and Lan Ma, flats and rendering by CM Cameron, print lettering by Toriana Wilkinson, print layouts by Tyler Lanaz, produced by Susan Cheng and Will Kennedy, with a head producer of Quinn Sosna Spear and head of content David Shinnok Lee. The release dates were September 28th of 2022 through February 8th, 2023. More stories of the day-to-day life of the Batman family in this third collection of the Webtoons series. So here we are back in the most wholesome corner of the Bat universe.
Still very wholesome. And this time around, I actually got the print collection.
So, what did you think of it?
It reads pretty much, you were talking about like the print layouts and whatnot. It reads pretty much as a regular comic, just with a bunch more white space.
Yeah, I like these print collections of the Webtoons. I read it every week on Webtoon, but when they release the collections, I get them because they're nice to have to be able to just sit back and read them this way. Wayne Family Adventures continues to be completely delightful. I will say I felt like this volume, there weren't as
Hmm.
many tug at your heartstrings strips, and there were a lot more just, we're going to have some fun strips. Not a dig, but I just think a statement of fact.
And there also seem to be more traditional, like Batman stories in this volume, like Damian and Tim Drake coming to terms with one another. Like that's a very normal Batman story. Anything where you're out in the field and not shooting paintball guns is a very traditional Batman story. And again, that's not wrong. We see characters here that we just don't see in those traditional Batman stories.
Yeah, I think that we get a little more action than we have in previous volumes. One of the strips, Siram, was the first appearance of Zatanna in this world. While it has some cute gags that you wouldn't get in a mainstream DC book, it's really an action strip. It's Zatanna and Nightwing are fighting a villain, and they have to get Bruce to come in and help, but they have to disguise the whole thing because they're on stage in one of Zatanna's performances, and they can't let on that she's doing real magic and is a superhero.
And Nightwing gets turned into a rabbit.
And they put Bruce in a Superman costume, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that's good fun right there. Good, clean fun.
Most of the heartstring tuggers or the real character pieces here are a series of two-parters. And each of those tend towards the more serious, with one focused on Bruce and Tim fighting Scarecrow and Bruce being exposed to fear gas, one about Harper Row trying to decide how best to help people not necessarily in costume, the one about Tim and Damien, and one about Barbara, which I thought was very effective. About Barbara proving as much to herself as to anyone that she is still a force to be reckoned with, even not behind her computer anymore.
I really liked the Scarecrow story because Bruce would absolutely 100% give his mask to basically anyone else. But I don't know if that's a beat that we see in a lot of stories. Just that sacrifice first, especially when you're protecting Tim or any other Robin. That was a really just good moment of Batman being Batman.
And for the world that Wayne Family Adventures builds, the fact that the way he gets out of the fear gas induced delusions is he says, no, I'm not alone. I have this family. And you see the family that we've spent 50 strips before that building up there with him. And that's what helps pull him out of it, is so within what the strip does and what it's about. That was a really strong script. And I like the end with him and Tim talking, and that Tim saying that what it all comes down to is we take care of each other. The Bat Family at its best does this. And that's the thing that this strip always does right. And I wish that the comics would get right a little more often. Although I feel like Fraction has been getting at that pretty well with some of the stuff he's been doing with Bruce and Tim's relationship.
I was just about to say that. It does seem like Fraction gets it, at least the early returns.
And Philip Kennedy Johnson as well over on Batman and Robin. The way he's been building Bruce and Damian's relationship there is also very effective.
Of course, you can't mention Philip Kennedy Johnson on this show without me bringing up Warlords of Appalachia, which is an amazing book. And haven't I need to reread it in the second Trump administration because it gives me all sorts of good feels. Another story I really liked. I suppose it was Thanksgiving. I don't know if it
Yes.
explicitly said it was Thanksgiving, but the getting everybody home for Alfred, that was so sweet.
As the title of the strip was Thankful, my assumption is it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that is the highlight of the book.
In addition to those two parters you mentioned, yeah, I think so.
Dick realizing that they're all on missions and away from home when it's Thanksgiving and Alfred is going to be alone, and him just calling everyone and everyone just immediately dropping what they're doing. Like, yeah, we'll be there.
Except for Bruce, but then Damien's like, father.
Damian gives Bruce the look. When Damian is giving you the look, Bruce, you know you're in the wrong.
Yeah, that was a good blend of, and I don't mean to say this negatively. This certainly has negative connotations, but it's a good blend of schmaltzy and sweet and good old storytelling. If there was a soft spot, to me, it was the Harley story because it doesn't seem to fit in with anything else. It wasn't bad, but it just didn't. It was the only episode where she was mentioned in, what, 25 or so.
Yeah, I think she popped up at the end of volume one, and we haven't seen, or maybe middle of volume two, and we haven't seen her since. So this is the beginning of season two. Season one was 2 volumes, season two is 3 volumes. And that's what's out in print. Season three was a single narrative over 52 strips. And you needed Ivy in play before then. The entire last season, we're now in season four. Season three is a massive Joker story. And so it comes around to everyone having to work together to deal with Joker's plan. So a lot of this I read in retrospective, okay, so we're getting all these characters introduced, so we're ready for that. But then I realized, oh, wait, no, that was probably well before they had planned out that far in advance.
Again, it's not necessarily that it was bad. It just doesn't seem to fit in well with everything else.
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones that I was the low point of something this good is still higher than a lot of other stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought the one where Cassandra and Jason are giving Duke Thomas shit for him entering criminal dens through the door rather than through windows and skylights. And then Duke pointing out that nobody ever sees it coming when you go through the door because you always
Never
break through.
expect it.
And Jason and Cassandra like, it's brilliant. And then Penguin breaking into one of Penguin's operations like, wait, you never come through the door.
Wah, wah, wah.
That one was delightful.
As was the paintball game of Assassin.
The paintball game of Assassin was great because that one introduces Harper, and we also get one with Nightwing and Huntress that introduces Huntress, which is kind of fun with the two of them swapping weapons and realizing that, boy, the other one really doesn't have it that much better than I do, or much worse. It was cute.
Didn't really think Wayne Family Adventures was going to crossbow some motherfuckers, but they did.
Oh,
That-
yeah. And then on the other end of the violence spectrum, you have Home Alone, where Bruce is left home alone and once again tries to cook, and we are reminded that
Banned from the kitchen.
banned from the kitchen for a reason. Listen, I could have told him that no matter how simple the dish is, you're not supposed to be on the phone while you're cooking. It
No.
never ends well if
No.
you're good at it.
No.
And Bruce is not.
And look, have some modesty. Nobody's sitting around thinking, oh, let me make an omelet for myself. No, 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 nobody does that. Just scramble some eggs and be done with it.
There are how many kids in that house? There is a microwavable pizza.
Oh, you know it.
Just put in the microwave pizza or hot pockets or pizza rolls and just go with it. Even you can pull that one off without burning the kitchen down, Bruce.
I think Damien still eats Crustables or Uncrustables, but he doesn't want anybody to know.
I could buy that. And speaking of Damien, there's also a picture day where Damien is doing his best to look good for his school picture. And of course, it goes poorly. But the very end, where he talks to Bruce, and the reason he wanted is he wanted a photo that his father could be proud of and could put on his desk, is very sweet.
That is very sweet.
Oh, speaking of Damien, were you aware that the animated series that launched out of Merry Little Batman dropped this week?
Bat fam?
Bat Fam. All 10 episodes dropped on Monday.
I see a bonus episode in our future.
Yes.
A couple of bonus episodes.
So far, I've watched the first couple and they're fun. And because it's not just Batman and Damian, Little Batman and Alfred, the family now includes Alicia Pennyworth, is basically a Julia Pennyworth analog, named, I assume, after Alicia Silverstone, who was, Alfred's niece as Batgirl. Volcana, we've seen her on Harley Quinn. She's a supervillain, only now she's been de-aged to a teenager and Bruce has taken her in. And the ghost of Ra's al Ghul, who is just floating around the mansion and being a pain in the ass.
Okay.
Oh, and Dr. Langstrom, trapped in Man-Bat form, but talking. Man-Bat, just man-batting around the manor. Voiced by Bobby Moynihan.
Okay.
It's wacky. Yeah, I've seen the first three. The third episode, Mad Hatter shows up with his daughter, Sad Hatter. My only problem with this is there is no universe in the multiverse where anyone has slept with Jervis Tetch.
No.
Yeah, no. The other, I think we've talked about most of the strips. The only other couple that jumped out at me, the one where Barbara finds Jason's dating profile.
Cute. Very cute. Jason as 19.
I mean, that would put it a little younger than I would think. I take Jason as more in his early 20s, Dick in his late 20s, Tim now in his very late teens. That's Tim's age.
Mm-hmm.
Tim is 19-ish right now. But for whatever this universe is, that's fine. And then the final strip of the book, High Heels.
That was very cute.
That was adorable. Damien and Stephanie fighting in high heels, and then Bruce coming in and asking, should I even ask? No, Bat. Yes, ma'am. It's very sweet. This is also the most wholesome Batman and Catwoman relationship. They really work as a cute couple here. And just, you mentioned it, but I just do want to call it, I really did like the Tim and Damien talking out their issues strip.
That was probably the one that spoke the most to continuity. Knowing the larger history of those two characters certainly helps, but I think you can also get a good sense of it just from reading, what we have here.
I loved towards the end where they both realize that each of them are insecure and jealous of the other for reasons that neither of the other one could connect. That to Damien, Tim is the one who chose to be a hero, and that makes him higher in his father's estimation, while Tim sees himself as the only one who wasn't chosen to be Robin, who tried to get the job himself. And when it's put down that way, it makes so much sense. And it's a conversation that Prime Earth Tim and Damien will never have, but it's wonderful to see it here. And I think I'm good.
Ah, that means it's time. The Wayne Family Adventures Volume 3, whatever episodes those are, on the big board.
We are at 639 stories on the big board.
God damn.
Number 1 is the post-crisis origin of Batman, Batman Year 1.
Coming at a sexy 69, a new sexy 69. It's Batman 14 to 15 Rooftops. They be fucking in that.
At 150 is Batman Gordon of Gotham, the story of Jim Gordon in Chicago, but still a good story. At 300 is The Remarkable Ruse of the Riddler, where the Riddler will wobble, but he won't fall down.
He will not fall down. Coming in real high, not nearly as close to the bottom as it once was at number 420. It's Batman 114, The Bat Ape.
At 450 is The Three Ghosts of Batman, the Grant Morrison story with the Venom chugging Alpha Male Prime Batman, a clear story for re-ranking at some
I
point.
knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
And all the way at the bottom, something that will never need to be re-ranked, Three Jokers.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I shudder to think of the story that could possibly go below Three Jokers.
So right now, our two volumes of Wayne Family Adventures are 72 and 93. I still really, really like this. Do not take what I'm going to say as me taking a dig at this book. I think because there was less that was that deep character exploration in this one, I don't think it goes above volume 2. I'm not sure if it goes above volume 1 though, or goes below or above volume 1. So the ceiling is volume 2.
And that's yes. I don't think this beats Batman's mystery case book at 89.
I'm going to give you a floor.
Okay, give me the floor.
And I'm good with that, by the way. I think the floor is I would put this above Bloodstorm at 104. So I think we're in between Mystery Casebook and Bloodstorm. So between 89 and 104.
How about right above Bloodstorm, right below Mask of the Phantasm?
Yeah, let's give it one more. Put it above Mask of the Phantasm, below the Matches Malone animated series.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Yep, new 103. Our second story of the night is Batman Tales Once Upon a Crime. This is a graphic novel. The writer is Derek Friedolfs, with art and colors by Dustin Nguyen, letters by Steve Wands, and edited by Christy Quinn. The cover date is February of 2020. Four classic children's stories are retold with a distinctly Batman twist. Damian Wayne is born as the little wooden boy Waynokio. Villains tell different versions of a story about a stolen green gem in The Princess and the Pea. Batman's loyal butler goes through the looking glass in Alfred and Wonderland. And a more somber tale as Batman goes to save a lost man with the aid of the Snow Queen. This is a sort of spiritual follow-up to Little Gotham. It's the same creators as Little Gotham, anyway. This one's fine. It's cute. I think the Snow Queen is leaps and bounds the best of the four stories.
I will agree with that. I would put Waynokio probably second, and then I think the other two kind of lose the thread of exactly what this is supposed to be. The Princess and the Pea, it just to me that was just a mess. You can't do an adaptation of a traditional fairy tale that has a very specific structure and a very specific story and then just dump basically whatever you want into that. If you're doing fairy tales, you gotta stick with fairy tales, my man. The Alfred in Wonderland, that was cuter and you had more to play with there in terms of the structure, but I still thought that was not as tight as both the first story and the fourth story. But as I'm reading Princess and the Pea, that's where this book lost me.
Yeah, I don't entirely know why. It's a green gem, so it's like a pea. I kind of get that, but it's not really a retelling of The Princess and the Pea at all.
No.
It seemed like, and granted, this predates that story, but this was all ages Joker puzzle box.
Yeah, pretty much with the different unreliable narrators.
And all the villains talking to the cops, and it comes around to a ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum sort of ending.
Yeah.
There's some cute bits in it. I did get a kick out of Baby Doll showing up and the Goldilocks riff there.
But
But
again, that is you telling a full story of Goldilocks, not just a little Goldilocks aside in your Princess and the Pea story.
you could have made that like mother call it something Mother Goosey and had each villain doing a different folk tale or different nursery story. Joker's is Jack and the Beanstalk, and Harley and Ivy's there's not really a direct analog there, nor is there really a direct analog to Catwoman's story. I don't entirely know what was going on with that. I liked some of the bits in it, but it was really all over the place.
And for the Target demo, right? This is what the DC Kids. Did I get
Yeah,
that right?
DC graphic novels for kids, I believe, is yep, graphic novels for kids.
So, this is squarely at the book fair market, right? So I've got no reason to suspect that the kids would have the same complaints that we would. What is this? Eight, nine, 10?
This is, I think, geared, yeah, to the 6 to 10 range.
Yeah, for that range, I think this would be perfectly fine.
I loved the art, well, in general, but I liked the art in Alfred in Wonderland. I liked the different takes on the different characters. I liked the Cheshire Catwoman. I just thought that was a great little play on words.
Yeah.
And the Joker walkie. Turning Joker into a big scary monster was a great visual touch.
Let me ask you this though. If you take T from Jervis Tetch, aren't you just gonna like pour it out?
Yeah, I don't know why Bruce didn't just immediately dispose. I think it was the tea leaves. I don't know why he left that anywhere other than right in the trash.
And he says, you drank it before I could?
I think you drank it before I could dispose of it. Yeah, it has mind-altering properties, so I was planning to dispose of it, but you drank it before I could.
You
Not
drank it before I could.
before I could dispose of it.
It's a poorly structured sentence. That's okay.
Yes, it is missing some kind of modifier somewhere in there. But there's that 2 page spread of all of the Wonderland villains and the Bat family coming at each other for the big fight. I thought that looked really, really nice.
Big comic book moment.
Yep. And yes, you've got the entire Wonderland gang. So of course you're going to work all of them in. I don't entirely know why they didn't have White Rabbit be the White Rabbit as opposed to getting Clock King to be the White Rabbit. I mean, the whole I'm late thing is a very Clock King bit.
Can't make it too easy now.
I did like that the Royal Flush Gang was the cards. That was another good little touch. Winokio was a lot of fun.
That was, and it was probably the strongest open you could have for this book.
Yes, especially since you're going for that 6 to 10 range, focusing on Damien at the start, having that kid character as the in. I loved that instead of just Alfred as Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder as the angel, his conscience, you also had Batmite as the devil on his shoulder, which made for some really nice back and forth between them.
And this is the classic problem with anthologies, right? How do you slot your stories, right? How do you organize your pieces? Maybe if this opens with Princess and the Pea and then it goes to Waynokio, maybe like my view of this book is totally different. But it sets you up to just kind of expect a very certain thing. Like, oh, I am getting fairy tale retellings in the Batman universe. And to have a story that was so tight, that was more or less Pinocchio with Damian Wayne, and then to go so far afield in that second story, it just screws with your head, Matt.
Best line in that one, by the way, is when Damien is captured in the Iceberg Lounge and somebody calls him a puppet and Scarface pipes up, "Hey, puppet is offensive. We prefer wooden people."
That was a stroke of genius, recognizing that, oh, if I'm going to do Damian Wayne as Pinocchio, I have got to put Scarface in here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how we're gonna get there, but we're gonna get there.
I also thought it was a really nice, subtle character beat that, again, the kids aren't going to pick up on, but as adults who know the characters, we could. That Geppetto was a bachelor in the original Pinocchio, both the book and I believe the book, but definitely the Disney. But here, Bruce and Talia are together because this is Damien's dream.
Aw.
And in Damien's dream, his parents are together. And I loved that the very end, that last moment where Bruce finds him asleep, because this whole thing is because Damien has a cold and can't go out patrolling. And Bruce comes in after his patrol, and Damien says, the book could have used more Batman. And Bruce, yes, but Batman could use more Robin, so get well soon. Oh, this is a Bruce who's a better dad than Bruce was at this point in the comics for sure. Zatanna as the Blue Fairy was a nice touch as well. It was an enjoyable little story. But the Snow Queen is a stunning. The fact that it was just splashes with accompanying text let Nguyen really play with what those pages looked like. And while all of this seems to be painted, there seemed to be something even more painterly about that story. And if you're going to tug at the heartstrings, doing a Mr. Freeze and Nora is always going to do it.
Always works. Always works.
There was a man who would do anything to save the one he loved, but now he needs saving, is a great line. And in the end, where Bruce, he's had to face the fact that he is trapped in the memory of his parents and talks to Victor, this is where I met my Snow Queen, my Nora. Sometimes good memories keep us trapped too. For a kid's book, that is taking on some real deep
Ain't
stuff.
wrong. Ain't
No,
wrong.
oh, it's absolutely not wrong. We've read plenty of stuff that Nguyen and Friedolfs have worked on. I mean, aside from Little Gotham that they did story and art for, but I mean, they've drawn how many of those Dini? We've done how many of the stuff they did with Dini for Streets of Gotham and Tech. While this is more in that chibi style, they absolutely know how to draw a Batman story. And this looks good throughout.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Solid, not as good as Little Gotham, but we've seen worse younger readers Batman.
I did some math, right? I sort of gave all the stories a numerical grade. Wayne Okio, 10, Snow Queen, 8, Alfred Wonderland. I forget what it was, but they all averaged out to be a 7. And I was like,
Yeah.
as a whole, yeah, decent.
Yes, above average, but not one that you're going to revisit every year.
Yeah. Oh, that means it's time to put Batman Tales Once Upon a Crime, the original graphic novel, on the big board. I got a spot. I got a
Okay.
spot for you to think about. 326 Tiny Titans Pet Club.
Okay, we are definitely thinking in the same general area because I was going to say we're judging by that ranking, we're probably looking in the higher 200s, low 300s. You said 326, right?
326.
Yes, okay. I think Tiny Titans is more fun and more consistent, but there's nothing in there that has any kind of weight. It is just all delightful, delightful fluff. It's really good cotton candy or funnel cake. This at least tries to do something more. I don't know if that makes it better or worse, though, as I say it, because, well, the stories where it tries to do more, it succeeds in Snow Queen and Winokio.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, I got a ceiling for you.
All right.
311.
Yeah. Yep.
We can't beat monkey rankings.
No, we can't. I think this is probably somewhere in the upper 320s. For instance, I think the second arc of Gotham Academy we did, Calamity at 318, is better. How does the new 323 below the Killer Croc and Swamp Thing story above the Return of Black Mask?
Sounds good. Now, Matt, as we finish up the night here, I hope we're not going to do something weird.
Oh, why would we do something weird?
No, I just want a straight up Batman story. Definitely not a story where Batman is a baby, because that would be weird.
Oh no. Well, unfortunately, then, Will, you're going to be disappointed because our final story of the night is One Operation Joker Volume 2.
Oh, shoot.
This is One Operation Joker, chapters 8 to 14. The writer is Satoshi Miyagawa, with art by Keisuke Gato. There's no colorist. American letters by Wes Abbott, edited by Mitsuhiro Muramatsu and Andrew Marino, and translated by Sheldon Durska. The cover date is January of 2024. Joker continues his journey through fatherhood of the de-aged Batman. Getting baby bats into school and witnessing his first steps are the first of his challenges, but he faces a new one when someone else takes an interest in baby Bruce, Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, man. This is so dumb. I love it so much.
This is one of those concepts that you hear, it's like, there's no way this is going to work. This is
No.
going to be so stupid and it is going to be bad. But it's so stupid and it is so joyfully fun.
Like there's an entire chapter of Joker being self-conscious about bringing a stroller onto the subway. That's so dumb.
And coming armed to the teeth, waiting for someone to say something. And then him having to thank someone for helping him, and how difficult and confusing it is for the Joker to say thank you.
No, that guy's looking at me. I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna fuck him. Oh, he's helping me take the stroller up the stairs. The subway never has any elevators. I'm so mad about that.
And then the guy giving him a hard time at the diner because the baby is fussing. And then another guy goes, "Hey, you leave him alone. Parenting's difficult." Having to
Uh,
thank that guy too.
Man, it goes down so smooth. Even I'm not very experienced with manga, and every now and then I got to catch myself and like, okay, how am I reading this again? But it's just if you can get past Joker just having a very strange voice, like it's not the normal Joker, right? Okay. But all of the shenanigans at daycare and then oh no, Bruce has a fever, you gotta come pick him up, just the absolute mundane things that this Joker goes through. Hilarious.
Having to rescue Harley from criminals who have captured her because she was getting in their way so she can go and play the baby's mom for the daycare interview.
Well, of course, you got to get into the best daycare.
And then giving her his credit card so she could get a nice normal outfit, and him dressed like a salary man with a salary man haircut and a normal suit, and Harley comes in dressed in classic Harley style, and him getting ready to kill her until she gives a really impressive, "Oh right, she's a shrink" response about childhood development. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess she's smart." The matron of the daycare just eating it up is so funny. And in no other version will you see Alfred doing a wacky dance in front of
No.
the baby. That was adorable. Watching Alfred do his "let me calm down baby Bruce" dance.
And he's introduced, I think, right at the perfect time because these two first volumes now have spanned just about a year. And Alfred comes in at the end of this year where, Bruce is still a baby, but you have settled into a routine. And Alfred comes along and disrupts all of that. So that was a very thoughtful time to bring Alfred into this story.
and seeing how at ends Alfred is without Bruce. And that he still hasn't gotten out of the habit. He says when he's walking through the manor, he still makes enough food for Bruce, thinking he'll be back any day. Oh, Alfred.
Sad.
I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last time, but the creators here, whether I don't know if it's in Miyagawa's script or in Goto's just the art, but there are lots of little nods to Bat Media and other Batman comics. The GCPD officers strapped to the candles of the cake is one of the greatest Joker stories ever told from the greatest Joker stories ever told trade, Dreadful Birthday, Dear Joker. It's an homage to that cover. The detonator that Joker is holding in that scene is the detonator from The Dark Knight.
Yep.
And we get the classic Joker with his hands in his hair panel from The Killing Joke reinterpreted here as well. It's so fun to see those classic images done in a different style. The back cover of the second volume is the movie poster for The Dark Knight, except it's the daycare card instead of the
What? I
Joker
got it
playing.
too. I got it too.
Like, I wasn't sure if you had it in print or if you were reading it online.
This week was a very print heavy week.
Yeah, not a ton of. Were you able to get Once Upon a Crime on Kindle?
Yeah,
Okay.
not a problem.
DC does a good job of making that stuff readily available, don't they? Isn't it nice?
Until it's not.
Oh, yeah. Well, that I tend to more blame on Amazon or Warner than I do on DC. At least DC tries, it feels like.
At least you tried.
Oh, and Joker at the end, he's like, he's finally going to be able to get out and get this caper. And he's finally going to be able to steal a bunch of money. So he finally has money to get the shoes for baby Bruce that he has on layaway. And it's a decoy truck.
It's always a decoy truck. And Alfred has all of the shoes. You dick.
And has taken the baby back to Wayne Manor.
Oh, what a cliffhanger.
Does Alfred realize that that is a de-aged Bruce? Or is Alfred just so very lonely?
I think he's a little delusional, right? I think if he knew in his heart that, oh, this is Bruce Wayne who has been de-aged, you'd think he would be a lot more vocal, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is, yeah, I didn't see him as really realizing it at this point. Oh, I love the moment where Joker has brought baby Bruce to the park and Bruce is picking up every acorn and giving it to Joker and having him hold it. And Joker's commenting about him being such a pack rat. Yeah, because he's Batman and he's used to having a cave full of everything. And baby Bruce crying until Joker buys him the belt toy that he wants.
Ominous.
There are a couple of moments where I've been, you wonder how much of Bruce is still in there. Are there little bits of his core personality that are coming to the fore? Or is he really learning everything from the ground up? And I don't think we'll know until next volume.
Oh my God. We're gonna have to wait a whole nother year to read the
No.
third volume. Okay.
Nope, I've already got it scheduled. Don't
Oh,
worry.
you do?
I do.
Let me see. Let me see. I want to see what it's scheduled. Let's see. Okay. Don't tell me. I want to see.
Okay.
Oh, February. That's not bad.
Yeah, no. We're doing a Bat manga episode. All actual Bat manga from Japan. And this will be one of them. Because I haven't read this yet. I want to know how it ends.
I know, right?
So yes, it'll be the first week of February. I was looking at when we had a hole in the schedule, like, okay, that's the first hole in the schedule. Dropping that right in.
Oh shit, dog. We got Gotham After Midnight in episode 222 with story 666.
Yep.
Oh shit, we got some good reading coming up.
Oh, do we ever?
But this is great. I love it. If you told me we'd be reading, I still can't understand the title for shit. One Operation Joker. If you told me there were 75 volumes and we would be reading one a week, I'd be like, all right, I'm here for it. Sign me up.
I think I said last time, I'm pretty sure that there is a translation error there because I think it's supposed to be this is a one Joker operation.
Yeah, and he talks in this volume about this being a one-man operation. Like that's the last chapter maybe where he's like consistently frantically telling himself that. So something like that, but yeah, it seems a little off.
Seeing baby Batman do all of the things that a baby normally does, Joker's confusion about why he's sucking on the remote control for the TV when he first walks. Oh, I forgot one of my favorite bits when he starts producing art and Joker saves it all just so he can burn it all in front of grown up Batman. That is one of the more Joker moments in this. Because every now and then it's like, I don't know any version of the Joker who would do that. But then you get that. It's like, okay, no, that is something that any version of the Joker would do. 100%.
And I don't think that Joker has quite figured this out, but if we're going anything on the timeline that we have now, Joker gonna be an old man when Batman is re-aged.
Yes. And then there is at least one moment in there where Joker wonders if the baby is developing faster than he should, but then that goes away pretty quickly. And we're back to just Joker being dad. This is delightful and just the weirdest. This might be, I don't know if it's the weirdest thing we've ever read for this show. That's still probably the Man Bat miniseries.
Yeah,
But this is conceptually the weirdest thing we've ever read for this show.
yeah, and I think that's really the only reason why any, English speaking audience would know about it because it's so weird. Oh, did you hear about this manga where Batman is a baby and Joker raises him? Shit, I want to read that. Let's get that translated to English.
Okay, I think we're good.
Oh, that means it's time. But One Operation Joker Volume 2 on the big board.
So volume one is at 252. Above or below?
Ah, that seems low for how delightful this is. But it is so very weird. I don't think it can beat the first volume because, that just introduced the core idea. And I think if we're gonna beat the first volume, it's gonna be in the third volume where Alfred is he's gonna do some shit. But this is a delightful book, and I would not put it below 300.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling like these three are going to be in a pretty tight group. I think we're probably somewhere in the 260s. Because I don't think I would put it above Batman in Bethlehem at 260, but I would probably put it. All right, actually, you know what? Might have been a little aggressive, but not by much. I'm actually going to give you a number.
Okay, give me a number.
271, below the first appearance of Two-Face.
That's a mighty impressive spot. That's above Armageddon 2001. That is near the same area as Audio Adventures Special. Yeah, new 271 it is. Mighty impressive.
And only a couple months until we see how this whole kooky thing wraps up.
Oh, I cannot wait. I went ahead and got the third volume, so my body is ready.
Well,
Well, Matt.
I wanted you to know, as it is, Thanksgiving when the good people are listening, I am thankful for you, and I am
Oh.
thankful for all of our listeners.
Oh, yes. I would be more thankful if more of them were on the Patreon and so many of them were not freeloaders, but it's okay. It's okay. I get it.
Speaking of Patreon, next week, friend of the show and Patreon backer John Wickham is joining us for 3 stories of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl.
Ooh.
We'd like to thank our Patreon backers, Dan Grote, Josh Wheel, Mrs. Abigail Hartbaum,
Mm.
Asimov Fangirl, Tony Thornley,
Go Aggies.
Sam Hopper,
Go to bed, Sam.
John Wickham,
Ah, fucking asshole. But we'll see you next week.
Robert Secundus,
Put down the discourse, Bobby. I swear to God, you are always discoursing on fucking Twitter. Step away, bud. Touch grass. Feel the sun on your face. Live your life.
Tim Rooney, Giorgio Stragioli, David Wheel,
World's greatest gray belt. And we
Alex.
learned, of course, that he's out of karate until next summer.
So we will update that next summer, I assume. Alexander Wheel, Matt McThorne,
McThorny,
Dan Offer,
barely knew her.
Nate Randell, Daniel Mosley, Ross Holmes,
Mr. Randomass.
Will Crisp,
Me compadre.
Carlos Cordova, Jordan Jennings, and Charlie Etheridge Nunn for their support. This show is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music/Audible, YouTube Music, Podbean, and on comicsxf.com, where new episodes drop every Thursday. You can find me on Blue Sky, where I talk about comics and other random things, and Letterboxd, where I review all the movies I watch, both at MattLaz1013.
Regrettably, I am still on Twitter at Will Nevin, constantly being exposed to Bobby's discourse. I am full of pizza and beer. I'm gonna hydrate, and then I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, Huntsville.
And be sure to visit ComicsXF at comicsxf.com or ComicsXF on Blue Sky for our weekly Friday BatChat roundup of new Bat books, for my other show, the ComicsXF Interview Podcast, where my longtime best friend Dan Grote and I interview comics creators, retailers, publishers, journalists, and other related tradespeople, as well as all the other stuff Will and I are writing. And stay safe out there, folks. Gotham is not a place to be after dark.